Hello all, welcome to study 87 of the Solving Studies to Improve Chess Calculation series. This endgame studies comes from the Czechoslovakian lawyer Jindřich Fritz. He was a very famous chess composer and a big promoter of the endgame studies in Czechoslovakia. He produced more than 500 and he had a tendency for the kind of positions I like that are more like in a game and more simplified. This one is a good example. Here it's white to play and draw. Don't forget that. If you haven't, I suggest you watch the guide so you are better prepared for the practice. And as always, the countdown will start, and then after that, I come you back with you with a solution. And here we are, and let's start by the first move. It is bishop g6, sacrificing the bishop. Brilliant one. Well, if you are surprised, don't feel bad, because I was also. I tried to solve this one a lot, and in the end I needed to go to the solution because I was not finding it. And then I saw this one and I was like, what? And I don't say swear words over here just because this is public and I don't want to be banned. Uh, okay, so here the situation is very simple. Black is threatening to promote the pawn, so we have two tempi to promote it to a queen, of course, and white can't avoid that. There's no way the bishop can come. Of course, over here or here, the king will take the bishop, then the bishop to go to the diagonal. So where it controls, we need at least one, two tempi. The third tempi, there's a queen already over here. And so the first thing we try to see is, okay, how can I draw with this? If I advance the pawn, okay, I can't go to a pawn race, of course. If it's go black, if goes to a pawn race, of course, white wins, because in the end we are going to promote to queen, and then with this check we grab the other queen. But of course, if I advance the pawn as white, black is going to control the promotion. Now maybe taking the pawn, so we kind of need more moves to support the pawns to advance. Let's see that in action. If I go over here, I simply can now promote, and now if even if I promote, try to promote one of the pawns, well, the queen simply checks. This is just one possibility, and as you can see, it's going to be over very soon. Uh, and if the king goes to the other side trying to promote, well, the bishop is going to sacrifice. That's easy. But even worse, if I promote to a queen, there's this simple queen h4, and now the king moves, let's say, for a year or whatever. And then we grab the queen, and then everything is controlled from here. So advancing the pawn, let's go to the beginning. Advancing the pawn, we can see very fast that doesn't work. But going with d takes c6, well, it's kind of very similar, because I'm going to a race to a queen. Let's see what happens if I go directly to a race. But in the end, I have this very nasty check, and then the king moves and the queen is taken, and there's no way we can force this anymore. So not possible to go directly to a queen after we advance. What else? Here maybe we can try, let's say, to support the advancing a bit more with the king, but this just doesn't work. If I go over here, then I simply can. Now the pawn is pinned. It's just a matter of paying attention. Let's say whatever. Let's say if the king goes over here, well, I can simply take the pawn. This is a nice one, allowing the white to promote to the queen, because in the end it will be checkmate over here. And let's say if the bishop tries e6, well, I can do something similar, just bringing the king, and now I can do the same. And as you can see, there's no way. So it was very hard. I was not able to find a solution when I first saw this one. And of course, it's not an easy solution. I need to come back just a bit. It's not an easy solution. We sacrifice the bishop. Here, of course, black will take the bishop, but the other option doesn't work for black, because if I take the pawn, well, considering that I am removing the excess of the bishop to control the diagonal, if I take the pawn, well, the king takes the pawn, but now I'm threatening to 1-2, 1-2, so the tempi doesn't work. Of course, black can try this bit trick. If I advance, black can reach it. So here we also need to be careful. We can't go over here. Do you understand why? Well, because when the queen promotes it, it will be check and give time to black to approach. So this is the correct move. And only now the pawn race can start. As you can see, if I was over here with the king, it would be suffering a check. But this doesn't work. In the end, it's just a draw, of course. So coming back to the start, over here, we need to take the bishop. Okay, we take the bishop, and then the follow-up is going to be a bit more simple. We already saw it, but we didn't notice it. So we take the pawn. Of course, now black needs to advance, because otherwise I will play c7 and promote first. Okay, c7. Now I promote, and now I promote, and you must be wondering, okay, but there wasn't queen h3 check, and the king moves away, and I take the queen. Yes, that's exactly what we want to happen. So after here, it's a stalemate because the king can't go anywhere, and it's not check. So a very ingenious solution, a very smart first move. For me, it was a big surprise. I hope you have enjoyed also this type of endgame studies are very typical from this composer, from Jindřich Fritz, and I catch you back in future studies, of course. Bye bye.